Hello everyone, you are all welcome to Nice Light Media. So on this video, we are going to be talking about contrast. Yes, if you have been following our camera raw filter training, we have talked about exposure, the theory of exposure, where I break how exposure works step by step. Then we also done the practical of exposure, where I show how exposure affect your images, when to increase your exposure and when not to increase your exposure. Also, we have also done the theory of contrast. Yes, if you haven't watched that video, you can scroll this video down. The next video after this one, that is the theory video of contrast, where I break contrast down step by step in a way you can understand it. Yes, so today is the practical. This practical is not going to be long. Yes, so I'm just going to show you how contrast affects your images. I'm doing this practical so that it won't be like we are only doing the theory aspect. We are not seeing how it works. So that is why I'm always doing this practical, for you to experience how the contrast work, what I'm trying to explain, how you can use contrast properly so that it won't affect your images. Yes, because some people think contrast is used for sharpening images, but no, contrast is not used for sharpening images. Yes, that is what you need to understand. So today now you are going to know how contrast is being used, when you overuse it, what will happen to your images, and when you underuse it, what will happen to your images. So if you haven't been following this our camera raw filter training, then you are missing. Yes, so it's not too late. It's not too late. You can scroll down and watch the starting of the camera raw filter so that you can understand every bit of this video properly. So now let's start our training. So if you look at my Photoshop, you can see this beautiful model. This image is taken by Ronnie's photography. Now, what does contrast really does to your image? Yes, what does contrast really does to your image? Contrast do not add details to your image. You have to get it right. Contrast does not add details to your image. Many beginners make this mistake thinking if I should add more contrast to my image, it's going to make my image look sharp and pop. No, contrast does not add details to your image. What contrast does is that it makes the bright parts of the image bright, while the dark parts of the image dark. Now, as I increase my contrast, now you see that the highlight part of this image are looking brighter. Yes, are looking brighter, while the dark part of this image are looking too much dark, which is not right. Yes, which is not right. Do not make the mistake of first adjusting your contrast. Yes, do not make that mistake. After you have already done all the adjustment, exposure, highlight, shadow, white, blacks, after you have already done those adjustments, then you come back to increase contrast a little. Yes, a little. This is to make the highlight, and the dark part of the image well placed. Yes, so that your highlight won't be circulating every part of the image. Then the dark part won't be circulating part of the image. So it's going to position the highlight and the dark part of the image in a well blend. So the dark part is going to blend properly with the highlight. But when you over increase it, it's going to separate out the dark part and it's going to separate the highlight part. Yes, that is why you're seeing this image. The highlight part, brightness is more brighter than the dark part, and this make this image look rough. And one thing again, if you set this image to your phone, then you check it, you are going to see that this image is looking dusty somehow. Yes, it's looking dusty. So you might not see it on the screen, but when you send it to your phone, this image will look dusty somehow. It's because the increase of contrast on that photo is too much. Yes, after you have already done edited your image and your image is looking dusty somehow, that means the contrast is too much. Yes, the contrast is too much. That is why your image is looking dusty. So you have to avoid over increasing your contrast. Do not use contrast in place of exposure, highlight or shadow. Yes, make sure you adjust shadow, highlight, exposure first before you come back and increase contrast a little. Let's do some adjustment on this photo now. Let's do some adjustment on this photo. First now, if you look at this photo now, you can see that the highlight on on the face of this photo is somehow too much. Now, what we are going to do, we are going to reduce the highlight a little, like 20 is okay, minus 20 is okay. Now, we are going to take the shadow forward a little. 49 is okay. Yes, so now let's take the white down a little. You can see that the highlight has reduced. Yes, you can see that the highlight on this image has reduced. Now let's reduce the blacks a little, and this is perfect. Now let's take this exposure forward a little, and this is okay. So now see the before. See the before. Let me show you the before. So see the before and after. You can see that this image is somehow the highlight has already reduced than this image, and this image is looking somehow dark. You can see the difference between this image. Now what are we going to do? We are going to increase the contrast a little. Now what can you see? This image is looking better than this one. You can see now, you can see the before and after. You can see this one, the contrast on this image is looking too much a little. Now we have already worked on this image. That is why you see that the highlight reduce, the shadow reduce. You can see that the shadow has a little lighting, while this shadow here is dark. So this is the use of contrast. You don't add too much contrast to your image. So now if you add too much contrast to this image now, you will see that this image, the highlight is overpowering the dark part of this image. Now you can see that first thing that will come to your mind when you see this image, the brightness is too much. So don't make the mistake by increasing your contrast too much. Yes, so you have to first do your adjustment of exposure, highlight, shadow and the blacks before you increase your contrast a little. So the rule of contrast is that when you over increase it, it makes the bright part of your image brighter and the dark part of your image darker. And if your image is shoot on JPEG, it's going to lose details instantly if you over increase the contrast. The reason why this image is still having details on this white part is because this image is shot on RAW. Yes, that is why you are seeing this image is still having details. And also, if you reduce it, the quality of your image is going to reduce and the skin will look soft. So that is the rule of contrast. Contrast does not pity your photo. Yes, does not pity your photo. If you over increase it on your image, you might not see the work. It is after you have already done your editing, your retouching, that is when you will know that the contrast you use on the image is too much, because it's going to make your image look dust after you have already retouched your image. So you have to know that a little contrast is okay, like +10 contrast is okay. Yes, and if you want to reduce it and make your image look soft, -5 is okay. Yes, -5 is okay. So that is all about contrast. That is all about contrast. So in our next video, we are going to talk about whites and black. Yes, what does the whites and blacks color stand for? So we are going to talk about these two in our next video, so stay tuned. I hope this video have make you understand how contrast work perfectly. If you find this video interesting, don't forget to hit that subscription button, subscribe and turn on the notification bell for our next training. Yes, for our next free training. Don't forget to like this video, share to other photographers who you think might like to watch this video. So before I leave, this is Nice Light Media. We specialize in photo editing, retouching and photography, helping creators improve their skills. If you are a photographer looking for an editor to collaborate with, we are always available. All you have to do is to send us a DM or reach out to us on WhatsApp. Our details is on the description. Yes, so send us a message. Let's collaborate. Yes, this is Nice Light Media. See you all in our next training. Bye.